August 21st, 2018. This is Agent Kevin Koback from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, placing a phone call to Nichole Kessinger, also known as Nicky, at 720-656-9605. The current time is 6:45 p.m.
Hello?
Hi, Nicky. It's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm okay.
All right. I'm running a recorder, so you know.
Okay.
I just want you to introduce yourself again for the tape recorder. Just say your legal name for me, and then we'll get started.
Okay. Okay. It's Nichole Kessinger.
And your birthday, Nichole?
July 3rd, 1988.
And you go by Nicky, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All righty. So you texted me this morning. We had a brief conversation regarding some new information that you remembered from just reflecting on what's been going on with this case. So you want to start with that? So did you write some things down?
I did. So
Okay.
they're kind of out of order. They kind of just are as they came to my head.
Sure.
So we'll go over them in the order that I wrote them down.
That's fine.
So I was thinking about the whole, what is the name of the stuff she sold for Lavelle?
Thrive.
I'm sorry?
Thrive.
Thrive, that's right. I was like, it starts with a T and I'm drawing a blank. So I started thinking about this whole Thrive thing because I remember that we spoke at the end of last week and you were asking what I thought of it, and I made it clear that I didn't understand it. And the reason I had a hard time understanding it was because I didn't understand how people who were living sedentary lifestyles and had poor diets were losing so much weight on this program, and Chris was never able to tell me what was in it. Like, not always, but when we first met, he was like, you should try this stuff, and I never wanted to. I was uncomfortable with it because I didn't know what it was. And I even had looked on their website, and I still didn't completely understand it, and so I just I stayed away from that. And not only that, I mean, he told me, the only things he pretty much told me is it gives you energy, and it's like a weight loss supplement, and I'm not trying to lose any weight. Like, I don't need that, and I didn't feel like I needed the energy either. So he never pushed it again, and I never, like, he always wore the Thrive patches, and I never questioned it. It was like what he did. But one thing I do remember him mentioning to me when he first tried to introduce me to Thrive was that you needed one patch a day. And when he would hang out with me, he always wore two. Always wore two.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Do you remember where he wore them?
Yeah, so he would usually wear one on, like, his left bicep area, and then sometimes he would wear another one on the right side in the same spot, or he would wear it on his, like, lower back.
Okay.
But he always had two, and I remember thinking, like, I thought you only needed one of these. Why are you using two? And I never questioned it, because for me, I never questioned him about it, because to me, I just felt like since I wasn't involved with that program and I didn't want to be involved, it wasn't really my position to question him.
Sure.
And now I know that there's also supplements that go with it. There's like a pill and like a morning shaker. There's like a lot of stuff that goes with it, but there's like a daily routine of like 3 or 4 items that you are supposed to take. Now, was he doubling up on those other items? I am not sure.
Was he following? Do you know if he was following the complete routine?
As far as I know, he was following it, and he had told me that is why he lost a bunch of weight. He said that the reason he lost so much weight was all because of Thrive. And then he said that at some point a few months ago, he had started getting stagnant with the weight loss. And so that is when he decided that he was going to start working out again. And that's when he decided he wanted to start eating healthy as well, because he was realizing that he'd like plateaued and he still wanted to continue with his fitness. But I think he was realizing like maybe a diet, like a healthy diet and exercise is what I need at this point. So that was the avenue that he was starting to go down, and he'd been going down by the time I met him. But he was still doing the Thrive on top of it.
Okay.
So the thing that caught my attention about this recently when I was thinking about it is the fact that I think maybe the reason he was doing the 2-a-days, and this is just speculation, is because it had like plateaued. So maybe he was doubling up because he thought it had plateaued. So the reason that this comes to my attention is because of his weight loss. So he lost 13 pounds in about 5 weeks. In fact, I can give you the dates. He lost 13 pounds from July 4th to August 11th is how much weight he lost. Because July 4th was the day that I went to his house and sat down with him and asked him, how much do you weigh? And he asked me, can you just like look at my macros and see how much protein people my size that usually eat and all that, and just asked me to like glance at it. So that's why I went over there.
So that's like, when you say his house, that's his house in Frederick that he shared with Shanann.
Yes, that's the one that I told you guys I went to on the 4th. And that was why I went there, was to sit down with him that morning of the 4th and just discuss his goals, you know. And again, I'm not a fitness trainer, so he already had an idea in mind. He was just asking me, like, can you just glance at this and tell me what you think, since you pay such close attention to these things. So anyways, I'm going to ask you, I think I already asked you and we discussed this once, but July 4th was the first time you went to his house, and then I think you said like the following Monday or Sunday was the second and final time you'd been to his home? I will have to, it was a Saturday, and I'll have to look it up. It was either hold on, let me pull out a calendar. I really just want to that's July. So the 4th, and then that weekend, I think, and I will double check this, but I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact I was at his house on July 4th, and I think the second time I went to his house was Saturday the 14th.
Okay, and those are, if I remember right, you only had been there 2 times, right?
Yeah, like I didn't want to go back. After that second time that I was there, it was like, I don't want to be at this house. Like, if you want to hang out, come to my house. So the 14th was the last time I was there.
Okay, great.
But back to this, so the Thrive thing. So I was like kind of concerned that he was losing so much weight, but I also wasn't, because he was like kind of fine tuning his diet. But it was enough for me to look at it, because I was like, well, I mean, it wasn't like a severe weight loss, but it was kind of fast. So I was like, okay, well, are you getting enough calories? What's going on? And I couldn't figure it out, because I was looking at what he was eating, and it was like healthy proteins and vegetables, and he was eating a decent amount of food, and I'm just like, how is this man losing so much weight? And then I started thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, it's because he was like doubling up on all the Thrive stuff, and he was starting to eat really healthy. So that, I think, is. So
did you see a change in him personally during that time from July 4th, or pardon me, July 4th to August 11th, when he lost that kind of weight?
What did you say? What was the question you asked?
Did you see a lot of change in him? Like, not physical change, but was his personality different, or was it just the weight loss?
No, it was just the weight loss. Like, okay. I didn't think he was any different. But this is the one thing that I wanted to point out to you guys, was that he was always this way. I just want to state that right now. Like, this was not something that started at any certain point. But from the first time that we started hanging out, he always had a ridiculous amount of energy. And it wasn't that he was like super high strung and bouncing off the walls. It was that he could stay up. He like didn't need to sleep. And he was always that way. Like, when we would hang out, oh my God, I would try to get him to go to bed at like 10 o'clock every night. I'm like, if you're going to stay here, you need to go to bed at like 10 because I have to get up and go to work in the morning, and so do you. And he would keep me up like every night. And we usually, I would say, I mean, it kind of fluctuated, but typically I would say that we went to bed somewhere, when he stayed the night at my house on those nights, somewhere between 11 o'clock and midnight every night. And it used to bug me because it was like, I was so tired.
What time did you wake?
Go to bed.
What time did you usually wake up?
It kind of depended on the day and what I had going on at work, but I would say in between 4:30 and 5 is like a pretty accurate assumption of when I'm supposed to get up for work.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, and then so what I would do is I would go to work all day, and then when I would get off work, I would sleep. I would go home and nap, and my naps varied in time. Sometimes it was a half an hour, sometimes it was like an hour and a half. It was like whatever my body needed. And then I would get up, and I would go to the gym, and then after I got back from the gym, he would come over my house, and it would be the same thing where it was like he would keep me up. And I will tell you, without those naps, there's no way I would have been able to keep up with him. No way. And another thing about that too, and he was always like that, always. And it used to, I could tell like his body wanted to sleep, but like his mind couldn't sleep. And the reason that I say that is because he sometimes I would see him, like, he would keep me up. So I'd be like, all right, well, like, let's watch a movie, you know, if you want to hang out. And so we'd be up, and I'd see him, like, doze off, and then, like, wake right back up. And, like, doze off and wake right back up.
Okay.
And there was a few times that we were having a conversation, and he would be talking to me. Kevin, he would, like, fall asleep mid-sentence and wake up, like, snap. Yeah, and he would, like, snap out of it, like, 5 or 10 seconds later and keep talking right where he left off.
That's weird.
Yeah, it always, like, blew my mind. I was like, this guy must really like me if he is, like, avoiding sleep to be with me. And it was like, I couldn't do it. Like, I napped probably almost every single day after I hung out with him.
Right. Okay.
Honestly, it was like he was on speed.
So you think the Thrive thing contributed to that, or at least his own drive for losing weight and getting in shape, and maybe his attraction to you drove him, because you're pretty physically fit, and he was kind of motivated by that. I think we remember you saying that earlier, that you were trying to help him get in better shape.
Well, and I mean, he was already in good physical shape, and he was already taking care of his health and his diet in the gym. I just think he was like, hey, since you're already in this live a healthy lifestyle, would you be willing to just give me some input? Maybe I can fine tune it.
But do you think that was some of the motivation for him to stay awake long hours and, use maybe multiple patches of Thrive to try to impress you, for lack of better terms?
No, I think it was the Thrive, and I think his body wanted to sleep. I think it really wanted to sleep. I think he legitimately was trying to lose weight, and I think that's what was keeping him up.
Cool.
Because at the end of the day, like, I wanted to sleep, but he just was, like, really restless and didn't seem like he wanted to. But he always seemed, like, really respectful of my wishes, so you would think that he would be on board with that, but it was almost like he, like, couldn't calm his brain, you know? And like I said, he wasn't acting high energy. He just, like, wouldn't sleep. And I almost think that's what it was. It was almost restless, where it's like, hey, I can't turn off at the end of the night. Stay up with me. And he never said that, but that was kind of the impression that I got.
Okay.
And so, and again, the double Thrive patches, I mean, maybe, but I don't really think he was trying to impress me. I mean, he told me, like, I had plateaued on this stuff. So I think maybe he was like, well, what if I double dip?
Mm-hmm.
So
right, so he's trying to get over it. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think that was a Nicky motivated thing for him. I think that was because he was already working on the Thrive thing, and like I said, in his fitness, he was doing all that prior to me being in his life.
Okay.
So, And I don't know if he was double patching before I met him. He double patched the whole time I knew him. So I don't know if that occurred once I came into his life, or if he had already started doing that once he plateaued. I never asked.
Okay. All right.
I just found that really interesting, so I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And that's the kind of things that I want when we talked prior, just to get you to recall things that didn't seem out of place then, but when you reflect back may have seemed out of place now with what you know. So what's next?
I mean, it was scary to me. It was scary that he lost that much weight on that stuff, but I guess a lot of people do, and I keep thinking about it. I'm like, it almost seems like it's a drug.
If you look at any diet, though, I mean, I'm not a fitness guy, but if you read about Atkins or any of these other diets, people lose excessive amounts of weights in short periods of time. So, but whatever. I think it's interesting that this Thrive played a part in it. And quite frankly, I am going to get one of these patches to try to figure out what it is. So we'll figure that out at some point. So what's next on your list?
Let's see. Okay. So this is Saturday.
So
this
Saturday would have been...
This is Saturday, the 11th of August.
Okay.
Was that the 11th?
Yep.
Okay. This is the night that we attempted to go to the Lazy Dog on 120th and Federal, and we walked in, and I looked at their menu. They tried to feed us, and I looked at their menu, and I was like, I'm not eating here.
Right.
And because, so we went to the other Lazy Dog, which is actually owned by somebody else, so they have a different menu. So we went to the Lazy Dog off of, I think it's 144th that I told you guys, and we sat down and we ate, and
It's on Highway 7, right?
What's up?
Is it on Highway 7?
I don't think so. It's on I-25 and 144th.
Okay.
I mean, I can look it up.
No, that's okay.
Screenshot it.
I think there's two of them, and I think there was some confusion. One of our guys went, and I just want to make sure he went to the right one. I don't know the Lazy Dog, but I'll ask him tomorrow. 144th is right by Highway 7.
Okay, well, I don't know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had never been to that one, so I think it's 144th. It might be 136th. I will look it up tonight, and I will screenshot you the address, and I will send it so that you guys, if you guys need to pull those videos, you can find it. But one thing that I noticed about this is that, so normally when we went out, I try to keep things pretty cheap just to be respectful. I never went to expensive places or anything, and sometimes I would pay for things, sometimes he would, but when he paid, he would always use these Anadarko gift cards, these little gray gift cards, and they were always $25 or $50, and they always came in denominational increments that made sense. And he told me that he got these from Anadarko as rewards for doing really good stuff at work. And is that true? I don't know. I don't know if, I know that him and his wife had a lot of financial issues, so I don't know if maybe he's the one who actually wanted to spend all the money, and maybe he was cashing his paycheck in via gift cards so that his wife couldn't track it. I don't know. I don't know. But I think it's something you guys will need to confirm with
were they
Anadarko.
Actually in the name of Anadarko? Do you remember, or did he just tell you that they were gift cards?
No. I've seen them. They say Anadarko on them. They're little dark silver, credit cards, but they're gift cards.
So you're just suspicious that potentially he was hiding money from his wife with these gift cards?
Honestly, no. I think Anadarko legitimately gave him these. The oil industry is pretty good about when our operators do things that are safe, or they do a really good job at something. They usually provide gift cards or some sort of incentive for it. Just
so they bonus these guys out if they're doing a good job or being extra, they have no safety violations and stuff.
Yeah. So stuff like that. So it's like they're like safety rewards. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So do I think they were legitimate? Honestly, yes. I do. That's something you need to confirm with Anadarko, though, because I wasn't one of their employees, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I did think to myself, like, if they do have money issues, maybe he was possibly concealing it. But the thing, it's not even the gift cards, I think, that are, like, the main focus on this right now. For me, the main focus that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention is he always paid with those, always. And
Every
then,
time you guys, so we talked about this prior, and let's just revisit it. You guys never really went out on a date per se, with the exception of this Saturday night on the 11th. Usually you guys spent time at your home versus going out, unless I'm mistaken on what you're saying.
You are.
Okay.
So we on most nights would hang out at my house, but we went out a few times. I have dates for everything, and
Okay.
I can give you that once
Yeah.
I'm done with this. The reason that this caught my attention was not because of the gift cards, it was the lack of the gift cards. So when we went out to dinner, he went to pay the check, and I noticed that instead of using one of the Anadarko gift cards, he had a baby blue credit card in his hand that he used to pay.
Okay.
And I just remember thinking to myself, like, why isn't he using any of those gift cards? I'm pretty sure he still has a balance on one of those, but I couldn't remember. And then I was like, maybe, because, at this point, he had made it clear to me that they were, like, filing for divorce. Like, it was, like, done. So I was like, well, maybe he just doesn't really care anymore, but then another part of me was like, but technically they're still together, so why would he do that? And like, I didn't ask, because like he had made it sound like by that Saturday that they were so far removed from each other that I was like, it's plausible that now he's just not, like, has nothing to cover up, but then at the same time, I still feel like until your divorce is 100% completely final and you're out of that house, why would you do that?
Sure.
I mean, so again, I didn't.
So you just found it was a little bit suspicious that he used a credit card versus the gift card.
It was like he had nothing to hide,
Right.
or nothing to lose. He was just like, yeah, I'm going to pay with this,
Right.
and I don't care.
Okay. So, and that would certainly be, if it was a credit card, just thinking, would be something that maybe his wife would see at some point, and he would have to then have to explain that. So in your mind, he's like, oh, well, we're divorced, or I don't care anymore. She's going to find out that I have a girlfriend.
I don't really know what he was thinking. I mean, I can't think for that man. I mean, I can't even process half the shit he's done or the lies he's told at this point, so I don't know. I just think that was extremely peculiar because he had never done that before, and it didn't seem like a big deal to him.
All right. I get where you're going. So it kind of made you think that he didn't have anything to hide anymore.
No, not at all. And again, there was other parts of our relationship where it's like he talked to me on the phone pretty freely, like all the time. So for me, like it never really seemed like on the phone like he had to hide anything at all. And that's why, when he's telling me, yeah, we're getting separated, yeah, I'm sleeping in the basement, like it didn't even like occur to me like maybe this isn't happening, because it was like he was so liberal about his communication with me, even if they were in the same house together at the same time. And so for me, I was like, all right, well, maybe she's upstairs, he's downstairs, they're separated. It doesn't really matter if he makes a phone call. And so that he was always liberal with. But when it came to like paying for things, it was always the Anadarko gift cards. And again, like, I don't know if that's because he was hiding it from her or if that was because he happened to have these gift cards, and why not spend those as opposed to like the money in your bank account? I mean, I don't know. I just noticed that one last time that we hung out, that he paid with a credit card, and I was confused because I was pretty sure that he still had a balance remaining on like one of those Anadarko cards, but I don't know.
Got it.
I don't know.
All right. What's next?
All right. And then let me just give you dates real quick.
Sure.
For the things when we were out in public. So I think I have these right. I hope I have these right. But on Sunday, I think it was Sunday the 5th, I think.
July 5th?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I'm glad that you're paying attention to this. Yeah. So I think July, I'm going to start at the beginning.
Okay.
So I went out of town for my birthday. I came home on July 3rd, which is the night of my birthday. On the 4th of July, I went over his house in the morning and helped him with his meal plan thing. And then after that, I went to the 4th of July Rockies game with one of my friends. And then on the 5th, I think it was the 5th, I don't remember, we went to go see a movie. And we went to the movie theater that is up by that lazy dog, I think, on 144th and I-25.
What movie did you see?
That new Jurassic Park movie. I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
And I remember we got there, and the first showing was sold out, I think. I don't remember. I think either we were going to go see another movie and it was sold out, or that one was sold out. So but when we went up there to start with, it was sold out. And so we left, and we went and walked down to these benches that were right across from the Victoria's Secret. And I don't know what corner of the building that would be on. If you guys need me to go up there and try to figure it out.
No, I'll figure it out. That's okay.
Yeah, and we sat in these benches on this bench under this tree and just bullshitted until the next showing of the movie. And then we went to the second showing of the movie, and it was really late. I want to say it was 9-something.
PM?
Yeah, it was late.
5th.
And I want to say, I don't even want to say it's Sunday because I feel like it was not Sunday. I don't think it was my birthday though. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I might have all my dates mixed up. If I have all my dates mixed up, just...
That's okay. You're getting us close.
You'll find it. Okay. So then, let me go back to... No. I was looking at August. That's why the date sounded weird. It was either the 6th of July or the 7th of July.
Okay.
I was looking at the wrong month.
So Sunday the 6th? Pardon me.
No, I think, because that's what I'm saying, I didn't think it was a Sunday. So it was either Friday the 6th
okay.
or Saturday the 7th of July. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong calendar. So because I remember that was our first outing. That was our first date, and it was the weekend right after my birthday week.
Okay.
So it had to have been, either probably the 6th or the 7th. And then we didn't go anywhere again until the next weekend. And that weekend, on Saturday the 14th, that's the day that I went to his house, we went up to Boulder, and we went to the Shelby Mustang Museum. So this was July 14th.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went up there, took a tour, and then after that, we left. And
do you remember what time that would have been?
That we left?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, what time do you think you got to the museum?
Oh, God, I don't even remember.
Morning, afternoon, night?
I think it was pretty, decent time in the morning. I bet you we got there at, 11 or so, because I remember it took us probably, an hour and a half to walk through it. I think it's a small museum. And then after that, we were going to go to lunch in Boulder, and then we decided not to. And then we went to his house, and I dropped him off because I had picked him up to go to the museum. So I dropped him off at.
You're driving your 4Runner?
Yeah, we drove my 4Runner all the time. I told you I was only in his vehicle one time, and I think it was like so he could go get gas or something. Like everything, all of these adventures were all done in my truck.
Okay.
So then we went to his house, and we were over there for a little while, but then I was just like, I don't really want to be here. So I left, and I left him there. He didn't go with me.
At his home?
Yeah, like I left him there.
Okay.
And I left by myself. And then the weekend of the 21st, and this is how you'll know if my dates are lined up. I would base it off of this date and work your way backwards. But like, this weekend I went to Vandermeer Speedway with him, and I went and saw, I think it was called the Mopar Mile High Nationals. It might have been called Thunder on the Mountain. I don't know. It was the drag races though, and it was Saturday the 21st.
Okay.
And we were there like the majority of the day. I think we got there like early afternoon, and we were there till it ended pretty much. Was
that late in the evening?
Yeah, those things go pretty late. Like it gets dark.
Okay. So you drove, did you pick him up again and then drive your truck or your 4Runner, right? It's a 4Runner? Drive your 4Runner?
I didn't pick him up. No, I didn't pick him up again because I never went back to his house. Like he came to my house and then we carpooled.
Okay. So he drove to your house, you guys carpool down to the Mile High Nationals, and you stay the majority of the day. Is there anybody with you guys on any of these dates, or is it just you two?
It's just us.
Okay. Did you have meals anywhere after you left there? Did you stop at any bars or anything?
Okay, so that day, I'm glad you brought that up. Prior to going to Vandermeer, we went to, what is the name of that little town? It's not Evergreen. It's like in between Lakewood and Morrison.
Morrison,
We went to Morrison. And there's a patio bar there. I do not know what it is called. It's on top of an Italian pizza place. I think it's literally called like the Morrison Grill or Morrison Patio Bar, like something real simple. And we went, it's just like a rooftop bar.
And you went before the drag races?
Yeah, we went before the drag races.
Okay.
And we hung out there probably for a while. I think we were there for a little while. We ate there. So that's where we got
food. So you ate lunch there?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Tacos.
Okay.
This is a really good bar, by the way. Yeah, so we did that, and then we went to Vandermeer, and then I don't know what we did after Vandermeer. I think we just went to my house. I'm almost positive. Like, I don't think we did anything after that, because it was pretty late.
Okay.
And then on the weekend of July 28th through the 29th, we went to the sand dunes. We went to the Great Sand Dunes National Park.
Down in Alamosa?
Yes.
July 28th, 29th. Did you guys stay anywhere?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Where did you stay?
Oh, we camped.
Okay.
We camped. I don't remember the name of the campsite, but if you, just let me go through probably, my old phone nav or, go through just the internet and try to look up campsites, I can probably come up with the name for you.
Let me ask you this. There was some attachments that, when I was looking at some of your phone stuff today, although very limited, there's a man with a backpack. He's got a beard. He does not look like Chris to me in your photos. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, is he a little heavier set?
Yeah, I'd say he's a little bit bigger.
Yes, that is my friend Jim. That is the one that I was with on the Monday and Tuesday of last week.
Okay. So there is some photographs. You mentioned the museum, the car museum. I think I remember seeing a couple photos of cars, and it didn't strike me as anything then. So there may be a little bit more on your phone than what I think. But there is definitely no photos of Chris. And I don't remember seeing any pictures of the sand dunes. But so did you camp inside the national park there?
No, it was outside. I think we camped at Zapata Falls. I think that's the name of the campsite.
Yep, Zapata Falls.
Zapata Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's before you come to you turn off 160 and you're going towards the sand dunes, and then you turn off and kind of go up a 4-wheel drive road to Zapata Falls.
Yeah, that was like really gnarly one with all the switchbacks and the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
There. And so we camped there.
Was it like an established campground, or was it just dry camping?
No, it was an established campground. There's a campground up there. Like, you hang that left to go to Zapata Falls Trail, and then you go right, and there's like a big campground loop.
Okay. So that's where you guys were there.
Yep.
All right. Keep going.
And then we went to the sand dunes. Not the first day, so we got there fairly late on. How did I do that? How did we get? No, that's right. So I need to think about this. I really need to think about this. Saturday, we got there, we set up camp, and then after we set up camp, we went to the national park.
So you went and hiked the sand dunes?
Yeah, we tried, and I just remember it was super windy. Oh my God, the sand hurt so bad. It started raining. And we stayed even though the weather was bad, because there was like nobody up there. And so we did that for most of the afternoon, and then we came back to the campsite, and I showed him how to light a fire because he'd never done it before.
He'd never lit a fire?
No, he's never been camping before. He told me he'd never been camping before, and I was like, well, if you want to go, I'm trying to go to the sand dunes, so that's why we went, because he said he'd never done it.
Okay.
So
did you guys visit any? There's not really very much stuff around there. There's no restaurants or anything in that area.
No, we did stop at I think it's called like the Oasis or something. It's like this little. It's like on the way to the dunes. It's not in the park, but it's like on that road that you take to get to the dunes. And it's almost like a little gas station. And we stopped there and we rented a sandboard to go sandboarding on. And I think we got more ice for the cooler, and we got firewood for.
So it's like a gas station?
Kind of, but it's like the one-stop shop that everybody goes to, because there's like nothing else around there.
Right.
Like I'm almost positive it's called the Oasis, and they actually have their own campground back there too. But
okay,
it's like
I know
on that road.
Mm-hmm. It's right before you get to the entrance to the park.
Yep. Okay. On the right-hand side when you're driving in. I'm glad that you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I worked in Southern Colorado for the last 5 years, and I spent a lot of time around Alamosa and in the San Luis Valley. So I know a lot about that area, unfortunately. So I know what you're talking about.
That's good. That helps me.
So you got ice and firewood?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if we got ice. I think we did, just because I like to re-up on ice every time I go camping. Who paid for it? He did.
Okay, did you think he used the debit or the gift card again?
Probably, because that was the plan in the first place. He was just like, well, hey, I've got these gift cards. If you want to use them, you don't even have to spend any money, and we can just use these. And I was like, well, that's great. So I remember for the trip, I filled up my gas tank, and I paid for gas, and I bought a little bit of groceries for the cooler. And then he took care of, like, the campsite and the board and the firewood and all of that.
Okay.
Like, I didn't actually go into that Oasis place, I don't think. I'm almost positive I didn't go in there. He did. I got in line for the board. I remember that. But their like, little board rental shop is, like, outside of the building.
Okay.
So he went inside because he went and got firewood. And then we went to the dunes.
I'm just looking at your dates, so you know you're right. The Bandamere Speedway, the Mile High Nationals was July 21st.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was going to say.
yep.
Get online and see if that matches.
Yep, it does.
Okay, so
we're
then
good.
all those other dates should be good. The only one that I'm not 100% sure about is the movie. It was that weekend, that movie on the 6th and the 7th. It was that weekend. I just don't remember what day of the weekend. I don't think it was a Sunday, though. I really think it was a Friday or a Saturday. Like, I'm almost positive I didn't have to work in the morning.
All right. So what's after the Great Sand Dunes?
Okay, so we went to the dunes, and then we went and returned the board, and then we went back to the campsite, and we lit a fire, and we ate, and we just hung out by the fire for a few hours and just visited, and then it started raining really hard. So we put everything in the tent and put out the fire, and we went in the tent, and I remember he was, like, wide awake, and I was so tired, like, oh my God, I wanted to sleep so bad, and he just, like, would not sleep, and it was kind of bugging me. Like, I would like almost like wake up and like half subconsciously like have a conversation with him for a sec, and then like doze back off. And I just remember being so tired, and he was up probably for a while.
Okay. And
then
so you guys come back to the Denver metro area on Sunday?
Kind of, yeah. But we went. One of my friends wanted us to go to the Renaissance Festival, and she didn't know who I was with, but she was just like, the Renaissance Festival in Colorado Springs, and she was like, oh, you should stop by, and I made up an excuse to not go over there. I just told her, I was like, yeah, I don't really know, and I, like, kind of got out of it because I didn't want her to meet him.
I got it. What friend was that?
Charlotte.
Okay. So did Charlotte ever meet Chris?
No, none of my friends ever met him.
Okay.
And then on the way back up, we stopped in Colorado Springs to eat, and we stopped at a restaurant called BJ's.
On Nevada and I-25?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I just remember...
Right by the University of Colorado, there's a bunch of buildings. Costco.
Oh, wait, I think I remember the Costco. Because don't you kind of have to, like from the highway, you can, like, see... Yep. Not the highway, but that main road, you can, like, see the Costco, and then you have to kind of, like, turn in and around into that shopping center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. BJ's, it's more like a brew house, I guess, kind of. Yes,
and it's like really nice. That place, it's like a nice restaurant. I mean, not like nice, but it's just like it's a decent place.
So that would have been.
It's a big place. That's what I was looking for. It's a big restaurant.
Sunday, July 29th.
What day?
Would that have been Sunday, July 29th?
Yeah, it was Sunday, July 29th, and if you walk in the restaurant, so picture walking in, and the front doors are behind you, we were sat to the right on the, like, first level, like, there's like, a few different levels, so we were sat on the right side, and then in the right side, we were on the, like, left portion of the section on the right side. Like, there's these little, like, single-seater booths. They're really small.
Okay.
So almost, like, in the center of the restaurant, almost, but just, like, kind of on the right section of the main floor.
Okay.
Okay, so
did he again pay with a gift card at that time?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then we went home.
Okay. Did you see him the following weekend?
No, because he was out of town.
Okay. Do you know where he went?
He went to North Carolina.
Do you remember the dates?
No, I think, I want to say that he left on the 31st of July. I'm almost positive, because we hung out the weekend prior at the sand dunes, and then he went to work on Monday, the 30th. I remember that. And then I think he left on Tuesday, the 31st of July, I think. And I don't remember when he got home.
Okay. Next time you guys go out?
Was that Saturday. The 11th.
And you guys...
And that was...
The lazy
Yeah,
dog.
the story... Yeah.
Okay. So we got that all down. What's next on your list?
Sorry, I forgot about all of that stuff, and then I didn't...
That's all right. So we ran through something that I'm, the first time we talked, you were really tired. The second time you were overly stressed, and you had thought of some very important stuff that you wanted to talk about. So it's fine. And I don't mind talking to you as many times as I have to talk to you to get everything down that could at some point be very important. It's fine.
Understood.
So just don't worry about that. My job is to talk to you and make sure that this stuff is, placed in a report so it's there forever. So it's fine. Again, I just keep telling you every time. You when you remember things, just call me and we'll get it down. All right?
Okay, yeah, and I hope you guys pull cameras and all that, because I'm trying to help you. I'm really honestly disappointed that you guys don't have all my text messages, or don't think that you do. It makes me sad. I want you guys to have them. You need them, and it's frustrating to me. But it's I'll just tell you everything I know, and we'll go from there.
That's right.
Hold on. Hold on, what else? Oh, okay. So now let's go to this last week.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. So Monday, I think probably the most important conversation that I had with him after all of that took place was that first phone conversation on Monday night, the later one. Remember I told you were telling me there's two big ones?
Right.
And the first one was the one where he mentioned the sheets, the smelly sheets with his kids, and that was also the one where he was telling me he was going to go get his wife's wedding ring appraised. That same conversation, I don't remember exactly how he phrased this. I don't remember what led to this, but he told me something about he mentioned that he had told, I don't know what he said. He said something about the separation and how she was okay with the fact that he wanted a separation, or that something like that. And I remember thinking to myself, wait a minute, what? Oh God, I'm drawing a blank. Here's the deal: is he had been telling me the whole time that I was spending time with him that he was getting separated, and he kept saying that he was the one who initially initiated the separation, and then that it was more of a mutual thing. He said that he was the one who had initially brought it up,
okay,
before we had met, and then she was on board with it, where she was just I'm not happy either, let's do this. And then I remember telling you guys that when he was going to go to North Carolina, I kind of backed away from the situation, and I was like, hey, I think you should try to fix things with her, because you have a really beautiful life with her, and I think you should try to fix stuff. And he kept telling me, I don't want to, I don't think she wants to, and I was just please try, just please try. I just thought he had such a beautiful life, and I was willing to just leave his life. I was if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone. And and that's fine, and he'd always be well, what about us? And I'd be don't worry about us. Try to fix stuff with her. And he said, okay, I will. And then when he went to North Carolina, he told me that he sat down and had a conversation with her and that he told her that he wanted to fix it. That is what he said to me. He told her that he wanted to fix it, and she said no, that she still wanted the separation, and that she was ready to file for divorce. So I was under the impression when he got home from North Carolina that the divorce was filed. That was what I was under the impression. And so then on Monday, when we were on that one phone call where he was just saying all sorts of weird stuff, he again, I don't remember exactly what was said, but it was something along the lines of she was okay with the fact that I wanted the separation.
Right.
And then I remember asking him, I was like, wait a minute, when you were in North Carolina, you told me that you tried to fix it with her, and she was the one who said that she didn't want to fix it.
Okay.
And he's like, no, and then he goes, no, I just told her that I still wanted, to continue with the separation. And I'm just thinking in my head, he lied to me. God, he fucking lied to me. He lied so much.
Okay. So that just struck you as another lie?
Yeah, so that one I don't, and then now I'm seeing the news where he's telling everybody that he separated from her that he said he told her he wanted a separation on the Monday that she went missing. And I'm just thinking in my head, he told me that he had already had that conversation with her before I was even in his life. Well,
and so not to cause you any more stress, but so when you're talking to him on Monday, this is Monday, right? This isn't Sunday. This is Monday.
No, this is Monday.
So this is after the event. This is after the murders.
Yes.
He is telling you that she mentioned that she was okay with the separation, although now that that wasn't accurate. That was something different than he had previously told you, and certainly she couldn't have been really saying anything, unfortunately. So, I mean, he's making up stories after his wife is deceased. Is that a fair statement?
Well,
is that I'm kind of trying to follow where you're going.
I don't honestly. It just struck me as odd because I don't know if he was talking about the conversation they had that day or if he was talking about North Carolina. But either way,
it just struck you as
weird.
A lie.
It struck me weird because he said that he was the one that was pushing for it now, and I was just thinking in the back of my head, he made it sound like when I first got into his life that he was the one who had brought up the separation, but that she was super gung-ho about it. He made it sound like she was all on board with it. And then when they were in North Carolina, he's the one who said that he tried to fix it and she didn't want anything to do with it. So it was weird to me when he was saying that he was the one that initiated the separation, because I'm like, wait a minute, and I think it was weird to me because I think he was referring to either whatever happened on Monday morning or he was referring to whatever happened in North Carolina. And I was just really confused because I was like, well, at that point, I thought she was the one pushing you away, not you pushing her.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
So I don't, it's just a lie. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it has any significance, but it was just a lie that I caught him in. I think everything he told me was a lie, but it was a lie on top of, it's a lie that contradicted the previous lies that he had told me.
I understand. What's next on your list?
Let me see. Okay, so then in that same exact conversation, two more things happened.
Okay.
One, I was asking him about his daughter's EpiPen because I know that Cece has that tree nut allergy.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't remember word for word, but it was something along the lines of she didn't take your daughter's EpiPen, and he was like, no, and I was like, well, aren't you a little worried? Because I was trying to do my own reconnaissance, and I was like, aren't you worried about that? And he's like, well, we have a stash of them in the basement or something like that, and he's like, she probably just took one of those. And I just thought it was weird because several weeks earlier he had told me how expensive EpiPens were. So I'm like, if they're not expensive, how do you have a stash? You don't have a stash. Nobody can afford a stash of EpiPens.
Right, they're very expensive.
So I almost was like,
Okay, and so it cuts off right there, and for some reason hers seems to always cut off. And I'm not sure why, but it does. And so since that happened, we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to read the rest of this interview's transcript to you. And I have it right here, and you can look at it as well. I also want to say that I have noticed that Kevin Koback, as well as Nichole, but Kevin's even worse. He stumbles over his words a lot, and it's almost annoying even to read them. It makes no sense when I mean, when he's saying it, it doesn't sound that bad, but when you're trying to actually read a transcript of it, it's pretty bad. So I'm going to try to skip over all the double talk and the stumbling words, and I'm just going to try to read it without putting all that in there. So let's just start out right where she left off. And she left off right here, but I'm just going to start from the sentence, from the beginning of the sentence where she left off. And so let's just get into that. And she says, and yeah, so I almost was like, so at the time, like, I didn't think anything of it, and now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, that was a lie too. And so, okay, so there's that. And then also in that same conversation, so then I started questioning him about why he didn't go to the office on Monday. And I was like, and again, like, it's not an abnormal thing for him to not go to the office, but it's less common. Like, I would say it happens maybe once, like every couple, or maybe once or twice a month. Like, it's pretty, and like it occurs, so it's not like extremely abnormal. But I just thought it was ironic that his wife was missing and he wasn't at the office that morning. Okay. And so, here's the deal. So Sunday night, he had told me I have to go straight to the field. I mean, I guess that's something else you probably want to know. Okay. So I didn't think of that. So Sunday night during which conversation, so one we're talking about now. I don't, is your first conversation, you referred to it as your first conversation? I don't remember. You had two that were lengthy. One, I believe, was from 9 p.m. until 11 p.m. that night, and we had talked a little bit. It was about this previously, about him saying that he wasn't going to go to the office. Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry. It's like I jump around sometimes. That's okay. When I started remembering stuff, the big conversations that we're talking about, the really important one where he like gave me all those like weird one-off details, that was the first long conversation on Monday night. I don't know what time that was, but that was like the first long one where he said all of that stuff. Like, all of that was in one conversation. That, and when you say all that stuff, like the smelly sheets, talking about, and Nichole says the ring, and he says the ring, and she says the wedding ring, and he says okay. She says the weird part where he slipped up about like him being the one to push. Question. The See, okay, gotcha. The separating and not her. So, and like, and then the EpiPen thing, and then all of that, and then so back to the Sunday, the August the 12th, the night I believe we only had one phone conversation. I looked at it. I pulled up my phone records today, and I'm pretty sure we only had one phone conversation, and then I think I just went to bed. So it's like she's always wanting to kind of drift away from actually trying to discuss that one big 111-minute phone conversation. And then she'll pull it up right here, but then she's like, I pulled up my phone records today. So she's saying right there that she's already went into her account and pulled up her own phone records to see what she believes they're going to be able to find. So she is doing some preventive maintenance here. She's got her phone records and she's like, okay, they're probably going to ask me about this, this, and this. So I need to, and this is my opinion, but she sat here and said it herself that she pulled up her phone records that day to look through them to make sure she's going to know what they're going to be asking her about. Now, that's not no conspiracy or a theory or anything. She said it herself. You see it right there. So to me, that's important. But on Sunday night, that phone conversation, that's the one where I heard the TV on in the background. And I was like, maybe he's staying up and waiting for her. Do you remember? I told you guys that. Yes. And I was like, I think it was really weird that the TV was on because he talks to me when he's in bed. And he wasn't in bed. So this is the same conversation. In that conversation, he told me, I have to go straight to the field tomorrow. And he was like, I'm not going to get to see you in the morning. And I was just like, all right. And I was like, why? And just like, I got to go. He's like, I got to go check out a site. And like a release in the morning. And a release is like when the oil industry has like a release of any type of like oil products or anything, like from any of our equipment. And I was like, I remember asking him, I was like, well, why would you have to go check out the release? You're not part of the environmental team. So when you say release, is that he was like a spill? Kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't want to call it or like something's leaking. Because, yeah, like something's leaking. Like, okay. Anything that's involved with the oil and gas industry, anytime, like, so, like, if a piece of equipment leaks, I mean, you got to think they've got millions and millions of pieces of equipment. Like, sure, it happens. And so he's like, I have to go check out a release. And I remember asking him, I was like, why do you need to go do that? You're not part of the environmental team. Because like our field operators, they will find the releases and they'll call our environmental team, which is like who I work for. They don't call me though, because I'm not the one that deals with stuff like that. But they do call people like in my department, and they say, hey, I'm on this job site, and you know, like a tank battery's leaking, or like a oil tank's leaking or something like that. And then we go out and assess it and clean it up and so on and so forth. So those are actually specialists that go out and clean this up, and he's not one of those people? No, he's not. But sometimes, like, those guys, like, his job is important to, like, shut in oil wells if there's a leak, or, like, shut valves if there's a leak. Like, he manages the equipment. So when I got to go check out a release, and I was like, why are you going to do that? That's not your job. And he was just like, I just need to go check out some of the equipment where the release occurred. Now, that part didn't really seem too odd to me, because, I mean, it makes sense that they're like, hey, we have a release. Send an operator out and make sure all... Oh, he said he had to do a lockout tagout on the site. So that means that depending on where the release is, if it's near a piece of equipment, that could be have like potential energy to be hazardous. what we do in the oil industry is what's called lockout tagout. And certified operators such as himself will go out there and they will pull up a lock and a tag on the on the piece of equipment where you operate it, so that it cannot be in use. Like, they'll de-energize the piece of equipment and like shut it down, and then they'll put a lockout tagout tag on it. And then the point is like, so then the environmental team comes in to clean up the mess. Nobody accidentally re-energizes this piece of equipment while we're trying to clean up the mess, because it could injure somebody. Does that make sense? It doesn't make a damn bit of sense to me, but Kevin says, yeah, I got it. Okay, so now I'm remembering this just now, and he's like, I think I gotta go do a lockout tagout on some of the equipment for the release. Would that be something that would have been tracked? Certainly. There's a lot of paperwork and safety requirements to all sorts of things with each. So if he was actually going to do a lockout tagout, that would be something that I would be able to look at, record at Anadarko, and know that he was actually assigned to do that. To be honest with you, probably, again, I do not work with him, but if that's one thing that I do know about Anadarko and I love, and I'm going to miss those guys so much, it's the fact that they're very safe. Like, that is one of their best oil and gas companies because of how safe they are. Well, it looks like to me if they were so safe and they worried so much about safety, they would have done it Friday. Because there was 4 of them that was aware that the leak was there Friday evening. So, but all 4 of them just decided, well, we'll just wait till Monday. And that was Cody, Troy, Nichole, and Chris. They all knew it. But all of them just decided to put it off till Monday. How is that being so safe? So with that being said, I would be willing to bet that there's typically, well, like you, it's protocol. Right? So, I mean, there would have to be a known problem for him to do a lockout tagout, right? Yes. So, yes. Somebody would have had to call and said, hey, there's a, in your guys' words, release at this site. And then some boss or whoever it may be would call Chris and say, hey, Chris, I need you to go check this out. If it's so, you're a skilled equipment operator to make the decision. You lock it out. If you have to, then the environmental team comes in and cleans it up. So there's got to be like a record of all that's going on. I'm assuming that there probably is, because lockout, tagout, because it's to save lives, so it's a very serious thing. Okay, why didn't they do it Friday?
Like, why didn't they do about what happened, actually?
Right, it's a safety thing. And like, certainly certain people, yeah, and like only certain people are authorized. Like, I couldn't lock out, tag out something. Like, I don't have, right, that certification. Plus, you're shutting down, it's not a piece of equipment that makes money. So, yes. Somebody wants to know that, right? Yes. Somebody there? Yes. There is that it's a business. I'm just trying to think as a business person how they would do that, because certainly if you're doing that, they want to get the team out there and clean up whatever is going on as soon as possible. So they can piece of equipment back in order and running so they can continue to pump oil. So see, even in my opinion, it even seems to me like Kevin is like, why didn't they do it Friday? Because this is like some life-saving stuff here, and it really doesn't need to be put off. And there's 4 people that knows about it. One of them is over safety, and they're just going to be like, well, we'll just do it Monday. I mean, a lot can happen between now and Monday, so I don't know. That's my opinion. There is it's a business, and I'm just thinking, and I'm just trying to think as a business person how they would do that, because certainly if you're doing that, they want to get the team out there and clean up whatever is going on as soon as possible. So, see, I read that again because that to me is important. Like, he even knew that it should have been done Friday. Why wait till Monday? But anyway, he goes on to say, they can piece of equipment back in order and running so they can continue to pump oil. And Nichole says, understood. Well, and two, the other thing too is he hadn't even looked at the site yet, so it's like, how do you know that you need a lockout tagout? I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I would like to, it's something for me to investigate. I'm just kind of trying to get because you obviously know a lot. Yeah. More about the oil industry. I don't know anything about it. That makes sense to me. She says, and that's good. And he says, so that's good. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't even think of that till just now. So anyways, that is a question for Anadarko. That is not a question for me. Yep. But anyways, so he told me that he was going to have to do that, and I was like, all right, cool. And then he didn't show up for what? Well, he did show up for work on Monday, but supposedly he was in the field. And then Monday evening, after my friend Jim left, that's when, okay, in another interview, now here she says Jim left on Monday evening. Okay, but in another interview, she says she spent Monday and Tuesday with Jim. So see, there again, there's another inconsistency with Jim. So yeah, that's kind of odd, That's when Chris and I spoke on the phone in that first really extended conversation. Again, I don't know exactly what time it was. It was late. But that first really extended conversation, that's when he started saying kind of all that really creepy stuff. And then in that conversation, I started questioning him, and I was like, did you really? I don't even exactly remember what I said, but I asked him, I was like, did you really go to a job site this morning? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, and who told you to go there? And I think he said that his foreman had asked him, either him or his co-cowing man, is this guy named Troy. I don't know Troy. I don't even know what he looks like. And I don't believe that either, because Troy was a supervisor there, and they all met in the office, and Troy had seen her. So I definitely don't believe that, but I don't even know what he looks like, but I do know he exists. So I guess their foreman relies on Chris and Troy kind of run their little part of the field. And so Chris was like, yeah, my foreman ask either he or Troy to go out there and go look at it. And do you remember the foreman's name? I don't. He's got a few of them, I think. Okay. I want to say, that's okay. I want to say Luke Apple, but I don't know. You're going to need to find that out with Anadarko too. Okay. That's an Anadarko question. That's all right. And I know who, but Luke is, and I know who Troy is, so we probably have already answered that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Great. So, anyways, so I told him to prove it, because at this point, I mean, the things he had been saying, like the sheets were kind of weird, you know. What it was the wedding ring comment that freaked me out, like the sheets did, like, was kind of weird at the same time. And the fact that I thought he had just lied to me about their separation, but it was like the wedding ring comment, like he was so callous, like he was just ready to like cash it in and get some money. You were telling, and I was just like, him to prove what? To prove that they had told him to go to the field right away. Okay, so, and he's like, how do you want me to do that? And I was like, you take screenshots of your Anadarko phone and you text them to me. And did he do that? And yes, he did. Okay, all right. And he didn't send me the whole conversation, but there was 2 pictures of a release, followed intermittently with, like, there was text, like, on either side of the picture, and I didn't get everything. He just sent me, like, part of their conversation, and I didn't have dates and times on either, like, you couldn't see the dates and times of what he was sending me, so he could have been sending me something that was, like, not recent. She wants proof he was there that morning. It could have been something from, like, weeks ago, and I wouldn't have known, but he sent it to me, and he sent it quick. Like, it was just, like, instantaneously when I asked him for it. Like, I was still on the phone with him, and, right? Then I looked at it while I was still on the phone, and it made sense with what he had been saying, but, okay. The only thing in there, yeah, like, it almost looked like someone else was originally gonna go to that site, and that it looked like the conversation I interpreted the conversation that he had with his foreman and with Troy or whoever was in that conversation. It looked like the conversation had occurred probably at some point over the weekend. And then it looked like Troy, I think, or somebody else in the field was originally going to go out there on first thing Monday, and he told them not to worry about it and that he would do it. Okay? And I don't know the exact words, like, I don't have that whole conversation again. That is something that you need to go to Anadarko for that. Yep. Okay, what's next? And yes, well, then that conversation, that's the end of that. And then, okay. What else? Oh, okay. And then that same night, remember I told you we had that one big phone conversation that you and me just discussed, and then we FaceTime for like 2 minutes. No, she's not the one that originally told them about that long phone conversation. They asked her about it, and then she said she couldn't remember a damn thing about it, but now she's starting to remember little random stuff. Okay, whatever. Right? And then And then we had another big phone conversation. Yep. So when we FaceTimed, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's relevant, but like you say, just say it anyways. He was wearing a black wife beater. I think it was black, and I told you guys that he was laying on a mattress that had no sheets, and so I've been in this house, but I've never been in his kids' room or the room where his wife slept. Like, I went upstairs once, but it was back to that little playroom where all the books are at.
And how will it make sense?
Right? But I did not go in any of their rooms up there, like, ever. But I remember that the time I did go upstairs, the bedroom door to the upstairs bedroom, like, the main room was open, and I really, like, I didn't want to look, but, like, just when I was walking by, I noticed that they have, like, a really big bed, like, it was like a tall pillory, just like a big bed frame. And so I didn't really know exactly what it looked like. It just looked like a quick glance or whatever. It's just like, that looks really big and I'm nice, you know?
Yeah.
Sure. So you mean to tell me that she would go in there and look in the kids' playroom and look around in there and see they had books, but she wouldn't walk in the master bedroom? I call bullshit. I call bullshit.
Just bull crap.
But again, like, I didn't go in there, so I didn't get, like, a good view of it. But I noticed that night they were FaceTiming. But I noticed that night we were FaceTiming. I was trying to figure out where the hell he was because I was like, he was laying down talking to me and he didn't have any sheets on the bed, but the background didn't look like the basement. And I've seen the basement and I've seen the bed in the basement, like, I've seen his little dwelling area down there and it didn't look like that. And I saw, it kind of looked like he was laying down and he had the phone like facing him, but you could kind of see the background, like the bed, and it looked like a really elegant, really tall bed frame. So she's pretty much trying to tell him that he was laying on their bed because she just explained what the master bedroom looked like. So yeah. So you think it was the master bedroom? Yes, I do. Okay. I think it was. I didn't ask, but I'm assuming it was, and just no sheets on them there. Okay. Like, I remember the mattress. If I remember properly, I think it was blue, but I don't remember 100%. But he was just like laying on it. Black wife beater. I just remember like seeing this, and again, like, I've never been in that room, so I don't know. Well, she's wanting it known that she's definitely never been in that room, but she definitely knows what the bed looks like. And even though she already said before that during this FaceTime call he was in one of the kids' rooms, I think she said the blue room, and that's the one that didn't have sheets on it, but now she's saying, yeah, well, he was in this room too, laying on the bed, and it didn't have any sheets on it either. Okay, 100%. Like, oh, that was it. It kind of looked like something very elegant, but it definitely was not what was in the basement. Okay, what's next? Keeping you on track. I'm trying to go in order. I think that's it. Okay. I think that's all I got. So I asked you a couple of questions when I was driving, when we talked earlier today, and since we weren't... Okay. Okay, on tape, I'm just going to ask you again. Okay. Okay, so this tells you that they did more than just text. They also had private conversations on the telephone between each other. And of course, we don't have any documents of that. So, which was when I called you after we looked at your phone, downloaded, and told you that the message you deleted, like right now, they don't look. I mean, I can't see them, so I'm trying to recover them, like I told you, through some computer forensics. We'll see if we can get that done. But one of the questions that I had for you was if you ever social media, and you said you did not. So no, you don't use. I don't. Any social media? You've never used Facebook or Facebook Messenger with Chris? No, nothing. I've never used any social media with him at all. I have LinkedIn. When he and I first started hanging out for business purposes, but it was something that I was like never on. And then, honestly, once all of this news media stuff and everything started happening, I deleted the LinkedIn just so that it's harder for these people to try to come and track me down and ask me a million questions. Okay. Never ever spoke to him on that. I don't even think he has it. I don't even know. I like never used it. Okay, and then so I don't know, but as far like actual social media, I haven't had any of that other stuff like Twit. I've never used Twitter. I've never had Instagram. I haven't had Facebook since 2016, so no. Him and I never had any connections on any social media. No, but she did stalk social media and Facebook for both him and Shanann. That was in her records. Do you know when he closed his Facebook? No, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to write that down the other day. He mentioned that to me on Saturday when we were at dinner. I think it was either when we were talking in the restaurant or walking out of the restaurant. Okay, what did he say? He just like offhandedly was like, I shut down my Facebook. And I was like, what? Why? And he's like, because I'm never really on there. And he's like, she used to be on there all the time for work. And he's like, but I don't need it. And he just like, it was like very like random, nonchalant comment. And I was like, so do you? Was surprised. Oh, and then no. And then I asked him, I said, did you shut it down all the way? And he kind of like gave me this puzzled look, and I was like, you have to actually like write Facebook a letter. I mean, not like a letter, but you need to send them an email. You can't just deactivate it. I was like, you need to send them an email that says, I am so and so, I want you to shut my account. Like if she didn't care if he shut it down, or if she didn't ask him if he shut it down, then why did she make damn sure to tell him exactly what he had to do to make sure it was completely deleted? I mean, if he just nonchalantly said, I shut my Facebook down, then, and she really didn't care like she's saying, then why did she have to throw that in there? Oh, but you've got to do it this way or it's not really gone. Because to me, personally, that sounds like she had told him, you need to close your Facebook. And it sounds to me like she asked him. Or maybe he did just nonchalantly say, oh, I shut it down, because she had asked him prior to shut it down. And he's like, oh, yeah, I shut it down. And she's like, are you sure you shut it completely down? Or you just blah, 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 you know. That was just a little much. All that right there is just a little much, in my opinion, for her not to care if he shut it down or not, or her to not even know he was going to shut it down. So, yeah. I mean, think about it. So, what was his response to that? I don't remember what he said to me.
Yeah.
So, do you think I really don't, just deactivated it? I don't think he did it. Not shut it down? That's what I think he did. Okay. But I don't even think he knew that he hadn't completely gotten rid of it. Okay. Because I've done it, so I know what you have to do it. Okay, anything else? No. But that was just kind of offhanded that you mentioned that. So yeah. Okay. But no, we never talked on Facebook. And then I asked you, if necessary, if for some reason I needed to get your phone, that you would be willing to provide me the handset if necessary, and you are in agreement to that. Yeah, I mean, just you guys, just give me something else so that I can like get a hold of people in my life that I need to get a hold of, and that's fine. Okay. Can I get it back when you guys are done though? I mean, and if you need to keep it, I can like go get another phone if I have to. Well, we can work that out should that come up. Okay. Still waiting. Okay. Waiting for a call from the computer forensics expert to. Okay. Give me an idea because of your phone's an iPhone, which makes, and my knowledge of this is that you deleted something off of an iPhone, it's gone. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, so I ask you also to call Verizon, because that's your provider, and to see if they can give you some advice on that because you happen to do that. I did, so I got on their online chat, and I saved that in case for some reason you guys needed it. You can see that I asked them. I was able to. They told me that there's like several cloud storage devices. They said that Verizon has a cloud and iPhone has a cloud. And I checked, and of course, my iPhone cloud backup is not it's not active. Okay. So go figure. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I really don't. Okay, I have an iPhone, and I'm sure any of you that have an iPhone is fully aware. If your iPhone doesn't back up for a few days, or if your cloud storage is full, you're going to keep getting these reminders and these pop-ups and these notifications. Oh, your phone hasn't been backed up in so and so days, or you need to upgrade your cloud, or something to that effect. So you can't just say, I never check that stuff, I never pay attention to that stuff, because iPhone's not going to let you not pay attention to that stuff. It will hound you to death until you do something about it. You either say, okay, I don't want to back it up at this time, or something, or you have to buy more iCloud storage, but you can't just ignore it because iPhone will not let you just ignore it. So anybody that's got an iPhone, they know exactly what I'm talking about there. Well, that's why I ask you is if you used any cloud stuff earlier, so none of that was active? No, that was not. And then I asked them, they're like, well, your phone works with Verizon, Verizon iCloud, and I was like, well, how do I activate that? Like, how do I open that? Open that. Where do I find that in my iPhone? And he's like, oh, that's an app. You have to download the app. And I was like, well, is anything from previous conversations going to be on there if I haven't downloaded the app yet? And he said, no. Okay. But I'll let you guys look at that conversation and my phone, and maybe, no. You guys can figure out something. It makes perfect sense to me that I know exactly what they're saying. So that was their only, so they were saying you had the cloud, it would have been backed up to the cloud, but since you didn't, the messages are gone. Yeah, and my iPhone cloud is not backing anything up either, right? So, okay. It's just not active, so I'm really sorry about that, but that's okay. On a good note, so then, I found this thing under data usage. I'll show you. I was gonna bring my laptop in when I came. Not that you need anything off of there, but just so I can like show you my Verizon account, and maybe we can see if we can dig up some stuff on there. But found a I found messages, and it wasn't the actual body of the text message, but it was like the data and time and the phone. Okay. So she has a laptop too, which should have been brought in and looked at and analyzed, but of course it wasn't either. So obviously she uses her laptop for a lot. She didn't use her phone for everything. So there you go, there again. Number that it went to, and I received it, and I got really excited. I was like, oh my God, it's a message log. I bet she got excited. I bet it scared the hell out of her. And even if it wasn't the body of the message, it would probably help us to figure out what's missing and what's not. And I was super excited. And then I started scrolling through it and realized the last ones that they have are from 8/14. So I think they keep them for a week and then they get rid of them. Yeah, that's what it says online. So yeah, definitely. Isn't that a coincidence? Have nothing from the 13th forward. Well, is that a fluke? Okay, so did you screenshot that? I wish I would have known that 2 days ago. What's that? Did you take a screenshot of that or anything like that? I mean, I can if you want me to. Or is it in your, is that in your personal Verizon account? Yes. Yeah, so would you just like print that page or do something for me? Because in the event that we are just, computer generation deletion, if there is something there, I'd like to try to save it as much as we can. Well, I mean, I wish you guys would have told me this like 2 days ago, because if they're only saving, it looks like they're not saving the body of the messages. It looks, right, like what they're doing is they're saving the date and time. It's like a timestamp for the text messages. Sure. And who they came from. And it looks like they're only saving them for a week, like, right? Today they went to 8/14, and I'm afraid that if I wait tomorrow, they'll only go to 8/15, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so if you print those tonight, and yeah, see, but that's the thing. She already knew they only saved for a week. So she never really actually started talking to them about her text, and then she goes back to Verizon to pull up her own logs to see what was still left there after she knew it had been a week. I mean, come on. Who can't see this? Why in the hell can't he see this, right? I don't know. So, and that'd be great. just like, I know I was so bummed. I was like, the 2 days I needed, like, right before, were they cut off? Yeah, that's okay. I think we're going to be okay with what we have. Like I said, I'm just trying to make sure we have as much information as possible, and sometimes it takes a little bit of extra work to get that information, but I'm okay with that because it could be very important later on down the line. It could be very important now. But I just don't want to lose. I agree. Well, and because it's like, I know that sometimes, like, I can miss some things, but also, like, I want you guys to see those texts maybe because there is something important there and that I can't even think of, you know? Sure. Or not that, but like, it validates everything that I'm saying to you guys, right? You know? Okay. Well, I'll work on the text, and like I said, I'm going to talk to the other agent who is kind of the lead agent on this case. And I think that she's going to want to sit down with you and kind of like go through the context of the messages to get a better idea, you know? Because text messages are just words. We don't know what was said before that in a phone conversation, or what might have been followed up in a phone conversation, or what prompted a text message to be sent, either from a prior meeting or something like that. So it'll be very helpful. I don't think that's going to happen this week because I know she's super busy. So just be patient with that. That information isn't going anywhere. We have that retained, and I appreciate you saying that you'll cooperate in doing that. No, I mean, I really want to help you guys. I mean, I have no reason not to help you guys. I can't even believe he's trying to blame this on his wife. I can't even imagine, like, how hard he's making this on the family right now. It makes me so mad. It's so sad, right? All right. Well, keep taking notes as new things come to mind. Okay, but I was gonna tell you, I did get my phone log. Well, she's already told him that. Okay. I got everything through the 13th. Was on my last month's billing statement, so I got a PDF of that.
What was your hours?
I did save it. It's on my desktop. And it shows all of my incoming and outgoing in it. And it shows like where it was generated from. So like if I was at work, it shows like Platteville, and if I was at home, it shows Thornton. Like, sure. I've got those. Do you have them? Do you have my email address and my business card? Okay. You want me to just email that to you? Yeah, that'd be great. Then, okay. And then, that'd be the easiest for both of us. So, a lot of the phone records we see from her, especially I think the ones that says Verizon up top, I believe those are the ones she emailed him and she's talking about right here. I mean, I don't think they've been altered. They don't really look altered, but who knows? But I don't think they were. And if they were, she done a terrible job at altering them because it completely makes her look like shit. But I think those are probably from her, because I did notice on those that at the top it says Verizon, and then it also says, here is your bill for this month. So it looks to me like if those phone logs that we have are the ones that's got Verizon at the top, if those are the ones that the police got, I don't really think that it would have said, hey, Nichole, here's your bill for this month. You know, I don't know, but I don't think they would. That looks like a regular bill. Like when I go to check my AT&T bill, it says that. So I don't think they would that would just be for any random person. I guarantee you those phone logs that we do have access to are the ones they're talking about right here that she emailed to him. It's fine, yeah. What to do with it? I mean, I know what it's in, you know, it'll be fine. You can send it to me however you have it. So you want the Excel? Okay, so do you want the Excel sheet too? Because, like I said, sure. I have the PDF copies. Goes, yep, through the 13th. And then the Excel is like that. Sheet is like 14th on. But the dates don't show up on the Excel sheet when I doubled it. I don't know. I gotta look at it and see. Okay. If I can get that to work, and if it doesn't work, I mean, at the end of this billing cycle, which will be in probably like 3 weeks or so, then I can give you the 14th. Yep, you know what I mean? And then just, yeah, you can just send me everything that you have off of this most recent. And then when your bill comes in, if you'd be, if you'll remember to just send that one to me, and yeah, we're getting those records. But again, I always like to ask, they're your records, so I always ask for you to share those with me. That way, it just shows cooperation, number one. And number two, if we don't have something, then I don't have to go back and write a warrant to get it. You're consenting to give that stuff to me, and it's helpful to our investigation, and that's all that we really care about. I know, and I want you guys, you know, to do the best that you can, and so anyway that I can help. Well, here's the thing. She already knows everything that's on it because she's been digging through her phone logs herself. She's been Googling. She Googled beforehand how long they can keep them, what can be in the text message, what they can actually see from the text messages. The reason she's volunteering, this is all my opinion, okay? The reason she's volunteering to send PDFs and look like she's all willing to help is because she knows damn well they've already got them. If they didn't already have them, then how did they ask her already about her 111-minute phone conversation? She knows they've done got them. So, again, she's, in my opinion, she's doing some preventive maintenance and looking like she's trying to be all helpful by sending him PDFs and this, that, and the other. That's my opinion, but it only makes sense, right? I mean, seriously, she knows they already have them. They've done been questioning her about them. So, either way. She says, I'm really disappointed about those texts. I just, honestly, that wasn't the first thing on my mind when I, deleted them. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And that's back, too, because right after she deleted them all, she went and Googled how long can they keep them. So, yeah, it was. Duh. I was just like, I was so disgusted with him. I was like, I don't even want to look at this. Like, you need to go away from my life, like, right now. And I just, boom, got rid of it. Okay, but now she's all digging for them? No, she's digging to see what they can actually see. And she's doing a preventive maintenance to have an answer when they ask her that. That's my opinion there, but yeah. Okay. I didn't even realize oh my God, these guys are gonna need, these, it's okay. You didn't know. He knows she damn sure did know. It was in her Google searches. Why in the hell would she Google search that before she went and met with cops? Come on.
Like, that's just plain stupid.
We've talked. Don't beat yourself up about the text. We'll figure it out. Okay. Okay, all right. I'm hoping we can recover most of them. I think I had one more thing to say to you. I don't know. The media is like really, today it's crazy. After I got off the phone with you, I literally probably got like numerous phone calls from friends and numerous texts from people saying that the media is like coming to their house and asking them questions. So I don't know. I must be hiding out pretty well because good. They're going to great lengths. Like, I've had people that I haven't talked to in like a year trying to contact me. Like, people like old co-workers that I hardly even knew are like, hey, are you okay? Well, just continue to do what you're doing and your choice whether to talk to them or not. Again, you don't have to talk to them if you don't want to. And just, like we said before, your dad is probably your best ally in this, and hopefully he'll take some of the brunt off. These people phoning, and tell them to go away if that's your wishes, and then go from there. But stay in touch with me. If you go somewhere, like, if you're going to leave the state or whatever, just make sure you let me know your phone number, and an address where if I have to send you legal correspondence, I could send that to you, okay? I will. I will definitely do that. I've already discussed the situation with my dad where it's like, I really need to see what's going on with my employer, and B, like, I kind of want to wait until a lot of this media stuff happens and figure out like who is safe to give my new phone number to and who is, and right now I don't have an answer for that. So I'm just kind of rolling with the number that I have. Exactly. So we will see, and your number is like that information is available to defense and the prosecution when I write like if you change your number, it is available to I have to generate a report, so that goes out in discovery. So that could be something they would see. Now, whether or not they share that with the media or not, I mean, I'm not concerned that the prosecutor's office is going to. I know my office isn't going to. So just keep that in mind. Changing your stuff, you're almost obligated. In fact, I'll tell you, you are to keep me updated because you are a witness and you're critical in this case. So we know how to. If somebody, an attorney needed to get you for a hearing or something, how to get in touch with you. And that's really what it's about. It's not us keeping track of you or any of that stuff. So just remember that. Oh, and I would definitely keep you guys in the loop. I mean, okay, good. And I guess my last question is, how long does it usually take for them to find people? Because I feel like I'm pretty stashed because of how I've kept my information for the last like few years anyway. I think has I done me some justice. I don't know. I mean, it just depends. I think if sooner or later, I mean, you can always find somebody I'll tell you that. Now they have a lot of money and they have a lot of resources and they have a big desire to figure out who you are. So, right? I mean, do I think at some point that, you're going to have to tell them no comment, or I don't want to talk to you, or give them a statement? Whatever you decide to do. But yeah, I do. And when, I don't know. I mean, that's a personal thing for you and your family. How you guys want to decide to deal with that. And maybe even, with legal counsel at some point. You might want to have somebody just to say, hey, leave my client alone. I don't know. And maybe that's just your dad. Your dad seemed very concerned and willing to help when we met last week. And maybe he's just the right person to answer that question. Or, to tell the media, look, my daughter's not interested in talking to any of you, so stop. I don't know. And it's not really a great question for me. I'd like to tell you, I know what I would do, but I can't tell you what to do. Do you know what I mean? Right? Only, right? You can make that choice. Okay. So, but, you're, okay, understood. To answer your question, I think if they want to fine you, they're not going to stop until they do. I really do. No, I agree. I think I'm impressed with the lengths that they're going to right now. That's kind of nice. But they haven't done it yet. They've been looking for 2 days and they've been unsuccessful. Well, hopefully, if you want to stay hidden, you will. And if I can help in any way, not with that stuff, because I'm not really able to do that, but, the rest of the stuff, I know we had you talking to Hazel, and it sounds like we got that stuff going. If anything new comes up, don't hesitate to call me. Don't think like you're bothering me or this is a problem. This is what I do. This is very important, getting all this down. Okay. And getting a record of it is very important, okay? So don't hesitate to call me. Okay, and then my question, can they release my name to the papers if they have no information on me? I'm sure that they're trying to put 2 and 2 together at this point, but I feel like that would be a very bold statement to be like, this is who it was, when they have no idea. I mean, so I can say they can do anything they want, really. Is there responses for doing anything? Is there repercussions for doing anything? Of course. I think that they're going to be cautious? I think that the media really, they get involved in all these cases and they don't report something until they know accurately, especially names, because if, let's say, they say that your name is, Nicky, somebody else, and you're the wrong person, do they open themselves up to exposure to a lawsuit for slandering somebody's name? Absolutely. So I don't think that you need to worry about that. I do think like I told you this morning, there is some warrants that have gone out. I do believe that they're sealed, that do have your name in it because of the phone information. Some of that stuff between you and Chris, your name is in those. Now, those are sealed. When those come unsealed, I don't know. That's a judge's decision, not mine. So a judge can continue to keep that sealed for the, the length of the investigation if he wants to, because it protects our investigation by not releasing information. And that's the purpose of that, is so people don't know what we're doing, so the media can't dig and find out what we're doing, and they can't damage the case that we're building. So that could go on forever. So I don't really have an answer for that. I don't know how long. Okay. It varies, depending on the judge and some legal decisions. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I just hang in there. Appreciate your time, and if I think of anything else, I will let you know. Okay. But hopefully that is the end of it, and great. I will send you that record just for this month, and then I'll see if I can clean up the Excel thing, but I don't like something that you can manipulate data. I'd rather just wait till the end of the month and give you the PDF for the 14th. Sure. Moving forward, that's fine too. That would make me feel better. Okay. There you go, Nichole. Just butter them up that you would feel better, to show them something and to print it out for them so you would look like you are trying to help so much. At the same time, they already have this. They already have what you can see. So what they could get off of her call logs, and we saw that as well, it just shows paying and the time and the date. It's not like a complete phone bill. Well, what we had with the whole Verizon letterhead on it, that was her actual phone bill. So that's what she actually gave them herself. That's fine. And then I will be in touch with you here in the next, probably sometime next week, to try to get you to set up to come in and sit down to talk about all this information. Okay. Okay. Hang in there, Nicky. All right. Thank you. All right. We'll talk soon. Have a good night. You too. Bye. Bye. The time is 8:14. Gonna end this recording. And so there you have it. I mean, even though we had white noise through 3/4 of it, and a lot of people is like myself in the beginning and didn't bother to pull up the transcript or read it all. There's 59 pages to this, and 3/4 of it wasn't even there, so there's a lot in this. So let me know if you guys picked up anything that I didn't actually sit there and show you myself, because I'm sure you did, because when I'm reading something I just pick up on it here and there, and then I have to go back through it and reread it, and that's just what I do. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something you didn't already know. And this is Unjustified, and I'm out. You guys have a great day.